What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man the Animated Series Smythe and Peter Parker 2-pack. So we have another pack here with our VHS box design. We have a Smythe and Peter Parker, where we're going to get Peter Parker without any of the Spider-Man costumes, so just our normal civilian look, as well as Alistair Smythe in his mutated form, which looks really cool. So that looks pretty awesome. If we spin it around, we can just see them on the side of the box, and then our two characters there on the back, which look pretty cool. So pretty cool to get another 2-pack with the animated series design, so I'm excited for this. So let me get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with Peter Parker, who as a young child was sent to live with his Uncle Ben and Aunt May Parker following the death of his parents in a plane crash. He's an extremely bright student attending Empire State University, and while attending a public demonstration by Dr. Stillwell, he was bit by a radioactive spider that gave him superpowers, and after participating in a wrestling match for cash, he failed to stop a thief, but when he got home, he found out that that thief had killed Uncle Ben. So this led Peter to his crime-fighting career as Spider-Man and became a freelance photographer at the Daily Bugle. So we have Peter here in his everyday outfit, so not as Spider-Man. Overall looks pretty good, especially compared to the show. Looks almost exactly how he does there. So it looks pretty good, like with the face wise. So he's got nice blue eyes, and then the poofy sort of brown hair sort of combed over to the side, so that looks nice. Then he's got this reddish maroon, whatever sort of color shirt with the sport coat or whatever you want to call it over the top. I like how he has the sleeves rolled up, so that's pretty cool. Some blue jeans, a black belt around his waist, watch there around his wrist, and then just some tennis shoes on, so it looks pretty good there with those whitish colored tennis shoes. So overall looks pretty good just for your standard human body. Of course, with this outfit, it's not really an outfit you could use for just everybody unless you went through and painted the shirt a different color or something and just made it look like a casual sort of person. But just with that jacket and stuff, it just makes it seem a little bit different. So kind of more specific for this Peter, but I'm sure you could try and finagle it to get it to work for other characters as well. But let's go and do his movement. So his head twists all the way around. You can look down that far and up that far. So not the best range, but it does move there, so it's not like it's horrible. The shoulders do come up to 90 and then rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the single elbow joint for this that just bends up there about to 90 with the rotation, of course. We get the wrist that'll twist all the way around. Now this one has a hinge up and down hand. Then we go to the ab crunch. So we get the ab crunch sort of right at the shirt sort of section there where the wrinkle is, so it can crunch back and forth. Of course, going back, we have the jacket, so it can't really go too far back, but it does crunch back and forth there. And then we get a twist all the way around at the waist. Then the hips can come up to 90 and then out to the side that far. A thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, so not too bad. And then we get the foot that'll rock back and forth and twist side to side. So overall, not bad movements. Of course, we have the single elbow joint and stuff, so don't get the best range in there, but everything else works out pretty good for him, so pretty good figure just overall. Now, accessory wise, we do get some additional hands, so we do get some flip hands, so just so he has it, so if when he's not in his costume, he can still be web slinging, so we get a set of flip hands to go with him. And then we also get a camera since he is a photographer. So we've had this camera before, and I'll show you that figure that it came with. Just this one's more all painted. I love the purplish blue color there for the lens and stuff, so that all looks pretty cool. So with that, we can put this into his hand so he can be taking a photo. So they got Peter holding the camera, maybe ready to take some pictures of Spider-Man, maybe for J. Jonah Jameson, but that looks pretty cool there. Now, as I sort of mentioned, we've had that other figure that came with a camera, so we have this version of Peter Parker, which I thought this was supposed to be the animated one because it came on the retro card back that has the animated Spider-Man design. So if the figure is pretty much the same, but then once you see this Spider-Man, it's like, oh yeah, this is definitely how he looks in the show compared to this one, but just two different versions of Peter Parker, probably more of a comic version for this one compared to the show. But yeah, both have the camera, and like I said, it's the exact same camera, just not all the paint designs and stuff. And then he still has sort of the same pants and shoe design and all that sort of stuff was shared between those figures, so that's pretty cool, just overall different designs. Then of course we have our two other just normal human characters of Mary Jane and Aunt May, so that's pretty cool to have those two now to go along with Peter, so we can have a nice little family photo there together. And finally we have our animated Spider-Man. So this is the Spider-Man with the shell shade and stuff, that fits for the animated series. Of course, unfortunately, there's a height difference between them, so that's kind of unfortunate. I feel they should be the exact same height since they're both Peter Parker. But with this, we can take the head off this Peter and put it on this body for an unmasked head. So there's that head there for an unmasked head. I feel it's a little bit too big, so it may not work too well, but it does look at least there like an unmasked Peter Parker to fit along with the show, so that's pretty cool. So that's another option you can always do with this figure. But overall, I like this Peter Parker body. Like I said, it fits with the show and stuff and gives you multiple different options to fit along with different things, so I do really enjoy this. So now we of course have our headless buddy there, but still a good figure just overall for Peter Parker. And in this pack, we also got Alistair Smythe, which was crippled and wheelchair bound at a young age from an explosion in his father's laboratory. And when Spider-Man battled the Spider Slayer, which was created by Spencer Smythe, or Alistair's father, it caused the Oscorp factory to explode, and Spencer was believed to be killed. So Alistair blamed Spider-Man for his father's death. And Alistair was approached by Kingpin to continue his father's work, and he began to build the new Spider Slayers. But eventually, Alistair believed Kingpin was going to betray him, so he contacted Peter Parker to provide evidence on the Kingpin, but was caught, and Kingpin had his scientists inject Alistair with a mutant formula that mutated him as the ultimate Spider Slayer. So he looks pretty cool here. Now, I remember this character a lot from the Spider-Man show, just like growing up. I remember seeing him all the time, and this is just like one character I always like think of when I think of the Spider-Man animated series. It just seems so weird to me just how much he's stuck in my head. But in this form, he has superhuman strength and laser guns from his shoulders, as well as claws on his hands that allow him to like wall crawl and everything. So he's just a weird mutant character with all sorts of different bodies and kind of like incorporation of the Spider Slayer. So that's why he has these. I thought they'd be like big like claw things, that could like, sort of like attack, but they shoot like lasers out him. And I love the design of like the little segmentation that runs up him that sort of fits along with the designs on his arms and legs and stuff. So he's got these fin designs there, claws there on his feet as well. So just a very weird and creepy looking character. So overall, just here, relative looks like a normal guy, just a more gray color skin and then these spikes coming out. But when you look at him in full, he looks really weird, but it still looks pretty cool to have him. But let's go do his movements. So his head will twist around. Now he can't twist all the way around because of his hair. So he has like the flat top mullet, which is kind of an interesting design, but it doesn't twist around there because of the things on his shoulders. And then it can look down that far and up that far. So again, pretty decent range. Just, those shoulder things get in the way. Shoulders can come up to 90 itself and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far. So pretty good there. We get wrists that'll twist around and hinge back and forth. Then we go to the ab crunch, so we get a crunch forward, crunch back, and then twist around at the waist. Then we get the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side that far. Thigh twist around the double knee joint. That's a little bit stiff on this, but can bend up that far to the back, so not far from kicking his butt. Then we get the foot that'll flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty good range once again, and he's got all pinless joints, so brand new figure body all for this, so really good overall. And accessory-wise, all he comes with is an extra set of hands, so just more of open hands there to go with him, so nothing special or anything related to his power, so he's probably just fine the way he is with the fist hands to be able to fight against Spider-Man and stuff. So overall, pretty good character design. Like I said, it's pretty weird, but like that's how it was in the show. But overall, I guess it works and carries out the look, so it's pretty good for that, and a good figure just overall. So really good for this. And we can go ahead and bring in our Peter Parker there to have both of our characters. So we'd have Peter Parker ready to try and take pictures of Smythe there. So that is pretty cool. A nice, awesome 2-pack once again with 2 good figures where we got the normal citizen version of Peter Parker as well as Alistair Smythe. So 2 very cool figures there. I must say I like both of these a lot, and they both look really good, function good and stuff. So really good characters in my opinion. So let me know what you thought. I'm down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this review, let me know with a thumbs up. I want to thank y'all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.